The first time I did stand-up was at the New York Comedy Club. It was a bringer show, and it was just exhilarating and tense and scary. I was like acting like a tough guy. My recollection is of like trying to be kind of like, oh yeah. I definitely yelled at a guy in the crowd to shut up.
In the middle of your first time ever stand up?
My first time on stage. He wasn't even heckling.
You heckled an audience.
Well, it was like the atypical heckler where it's like they're just talking and they're like talking to the other person about their bill and stuff, which is a terrible reason to yell at someone. And then I think I even said like Purple Monkey Dishwasher, which is from The Simpsons. So I plagiarized that just to prove that they weren't paying attention. And then I yelled at him, and then I said, "Oh, you want some comedy?" And then this was all improvised. Like, "Oh, you want some comedy?" And I go, "Knock, knock." He goes, "Who's there?" And then I shouted, "Shut the fuck up," into the microphone as loud as I could. And there's so many different things that's wrong with that. But it got a big laugh, and then the whole crowd was on my side.
Was this something that like you didn't want to do?
Oh, since I was a little, oh gosh, I was 23, and I had wanted to do it since I was a little boy, and it was like going to high school and like getting ready for college, and combined with the horrible, awful, unsupportive girlfriend I had at the time, like made me be like, oh, that's really stupid. I shouldn't want to do that. Like I gotta get an internship and a resume.
How long did it take to write
I took it super seriously, and it's also, I've never performed any of those jokes ever. So like the second time I did it, it was all, like I was like I still am very critical, but like at that time, like the other like open micers like thought I was so prolific and stuff because like I always did different shit every time I went up, but it was only because I hated it so much. I was at least a good enough comedian that I knew what I was doing was terrible. So I at least had that going for me.
But you still thought
I knew I was funny, and I would get laughs, but I knew that I was getting laughs like off of my attitude, and like the material was terrible. Terrible.
Do you remember any one thing you said?
Absolutely, I remember all of them.
You can do it for 2 days.
Well, this was the joke I didn't finish. This was the first time I've told this joke, actually, because I interrupted. No, because I never told it. I didn't even finish because I bailed out of it, and then I was like, I can't go back to that other. Now I would go back. It's funny because like a lot of the advice I've heard, like, oh, well, if you can never get it back. I'm like, oh, I like that. You can get it back because everybody wants to know. They're still there. But it goes, it's so pathetic and sad too. It's just, I go, I ran into an old girlfriend and she said, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. And I'm thinking, seeing this person makes all the rub burns on my penis ache.
Bonding? Cigarettes?
That was the joke.
You got cut off.
And I noticed that someone wasn't paying attention to this joke, so I attacked him and then didn't finish the joke.
Oh my god.
I know.
And it was so brilliant.
Just so like pathetically sexual and like.
But my first stuff was really dirty.
I feel like most people
go dirty.
Because it's the most universal thing.
Yeah. And we find that funny, and then we're vulnerable,
readily
like,
available.
Like, it would be that
everybody
way, yeah.
thinks that our bodies are funny.
Yeah.